In this video, I want to make the screw cap part of our flashlight, and we're going to focus on a couple things. Number one, you have to ask yourself the question of how close are you going to get to the real part. At some point you have to approximate its dimensions, and we're going to approximate them considerably by considering the cap to be 3 concentric cylinders, kind of like this. This is the front view, and this is the right view over here. And you can see we have 3 concentric cylinders within a hole in the middle. So it's a pretty big simplification, but it'll do for us. And we also want to decide, okay, what method are we going to use? All these parts have cylindrical symmetry, which suggests a revolve. While that's in principle less work than doing 3 consecutive extrusions, you have to get your math right in your sketch by having the diameters as you make your sketch to be revolved, and that's could be prone to mistakes, but it's probably the better way to do it rather than 3 consecutive extrusions. So we're going to give that a try. And finally, I want to talk about making the little grips out there, and one way that will work to make those. So let's get started. What we're going to have to do is we're going to make a sketch consisting of the magenta area here, and then we're going to revolve it around the center line right there. So we've got the dimensions for the vertical dimensions, so they're over here. They're the diameters, and remember we're going to want the radius rather than the diameters, so we have to have these. And then the full thickness is 0.4, and the smaller one on the front is 0.03, and the smaller one on the back is 0.1 in thickness. So let's give this a try. And again, the sketch we're going to make is going to be the one here surrounding this hatched area. So let's just give this a try. So if we come back here, we go to Onshape, we'll put a sketch on the front pane. Is that right? No. I think I want to put it on the right plane because I want the front to be the circle. So if I'm going to revolve this around an axis, then I want to put this sketch right here on the right axis. So we'll click there, press N, and now we have to zoom in. These are small parts, so I'm going to go quite slow here and just systematically go through here. So this is going to be 0.4. Press escape and you can pull the dimension down to get it out of the way. So that is this distance right here. Just made that one. So now I'm going to come up along the back here, this distance, which is going to be 0.98 over 2. Right, because that distance is 0.98 here. So let's do that now. So we're going to go up, get the vertical constraint there. So this is going to be 0.98 over 2, like so. Let's zoom in. If your sketches or features get really small, don't hesitate to really zoom in so you can see it better. And I'm going to do something because I always get confused going from diameter to radius. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use a construction line to just find some of these points, especially this one up here, right there, and I think right there. Let's give that a try. So let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to press the line tool, hit Q on the keyboard to make that a construction line, come here and then come up about to there. Okay, and if you'll notice, that height right there is the maximum diameter of 1.02. So let me hit that with the correct dimension. So it's 1.02. And it's not 1.02. It's 1.02 over 2. This is why I tend to shy away from the revolve, because I just can't do the arithmetic as easily as I might like. But we got it. We caught it. So again, that's the radius. So now I need to find the distance of that construction line, which is, again, only exists because it helps me kind of keep track of where I'm at here. So I need to come in a distance 0.1. So let's put down a dimension here to here. That's going to be 0.1. Okay, that kind of looks bigger than I thought it was going to. That's okay. I think it's okay. And I'm also going to do it for this part right here, this point, the other red point. So it's going to be at the same height, which is 1.02 over 2, and it's a distance 0.03 from the front. 1.02 over 2. So let's go ahead and click the line tool, hit Q to make it a construction line. Come up here, and actually what I can do here is I can go and touch this guy because it's the same height I want, and then I can drag over. You can see it's keeping track, and click. Okay, so I don't have to worry about the okay, it doesn't like that. Okay, when you try to dimension that and press enter after you've got a geometric constraint like that, it does that, but just hit escape. Okay, so it's blue, which means I need to dimension its distance from here to the front of 0.03, 0.030. Okay, now I've kind of got this all mapped out, I think. Let's give it a try. Okay, so I'm going to start to continue to make my part. So I'm going to come over here like this, coincident with that line, and go straight up to that point, and then over here to this point. Somehow I lost my line tool. Okay, and so I've got most of it. I'm down to here, so I need to come down a little bit, over and down. So let's really zoom up here. I want to take a line and I want to come down even with this one. So I'm going to come over here, click, and then I want, I think that's picking up that axis there, which I want. So I'm going to click there and then back home. Double click. And it turns gray, which means I've got a closed 2D surface, and I think I got it right. So those construction lines only are there because I needed some help making sure I got these little points here correct. So it's all black, which means it's fully constrained. And so what I'm going to do is now revolve it. So that area, the revolve axis is down there, and I'll accept that. So there we go. Shift 7, I can't see it. Press P to get rid of the planes. Press F to put it closer. I forgot what F means. And so now I've got this thing that I want to have except for the hole. So the hole is right here. And what I got was 0.76. So I guess I could have done this with the revolve, but let's not get too fancy. So I'm going to place a sketch here in the front and press N, and then I'm going to make a circle centered on the radius, 0.7, what was that? 65. 0.765. Accept that. And then I can extrude, remove through all of that area, and I'm going to get something like that. Now you can see that this generally is similar to the screw cap, minus a couple of key features. So there is a little bit of a tilt or a slant on some of these possibly, but you know, we haven't incorporated that. And of course we don't have the screw threads. And there's also a little lip in the back in the inside that we haven't accounted for. So, but for now, let's just go with this. We're almost done. So let's rename this screw cap for the part, and then the part studio screw cap. Since we're doing bottom up creation, we're making the parts and we'll put them together later. So now what I need to do, if you recall, there are these little bumps, and I gotta admit, I didn't measure them because they I could have, but really they coincide in terms of their thickness with this bigger part here. So what I'm going to do to make those, there's a lot of ways you can make it, I think, but I'm going to use the following technique that works when you try to do the circular pattern. So this is a very powerful tool that I'm about to show you. So it's called the offset plane. So any plane that I have, I can right click, do an offset plane, and you can see it offsets it by default at 1 inch. What I want to do is place that plane at a distance, let's see, above the cylinder that is the top of these little ridges. Then I'll make a rectangle and extrude down. So let's try that. But how far do I go? Well, I know that the radius of the area I want to find is 1.020 over 2. and so that would put it right tangent here. So I'm going to go up 20 thousandths. Let's try that. So this offset distance is going to be 1.02 over 2 plus 0.020. So I'm going to press P to get rid of all the planes and then selectively turn on that plane, hit the front, and you can see it's really close. All right. Now, what we want to do here is that we want to place a sketch on this plane here. Press N. We can turn that plane off now. And now I want to make my rectangle up here in the following way. So I want to use the geometry of the existing part. So I'm going to hit the use command and hit here. And what I want to do is now put a corner rectangle, and I want it to be actually right in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a construction line. So I'm going to hit the line tool, press Q, and I'm going to move along here until the little yellow box pops. That means I'm in the center, so I'm going to come down here like so and make that construction line. Hit the line tool, hit Q to make it construction line, come over, find the center here. Center. I don't know why that's blue. At any rate, let's take and put a center point rectangle. Will that find it? Yeah, it does. So I'm going to click here, and I'm just going to eyeball it, maybe out to there. Okay? So I'm going to click there, and I'm just going to take the defaults. Well, maybe I'll make them sort of an even. How about 0.050? And the height, I like 0.25. Okay. Now, for some reason, this happened before. It's not fully constrained. There's an issue with, I think I maybe just need to place, oh, that's right. I can't dimension to that geometry. What I have to do is I actually have to put a construction line. So I'm going to hit the line tool, hit Q, and put a construction line on my plane there. Press escape, and you can see, well, there's a construction line there, and I think I will be able to dimension. Let's see, is it here? From here to here? No, that's a driven dimension, so it appears gray. So I don't need that. So I want to make, what if I, well, I'm just going to leave it unconfined. We'll figure out why it's unconstrained. We'll figure out why that's the case later. So I'm going to accept that. And now I've got this rectangle up there. Looks like it might be a little big vertically, but we can always adjust that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude that rectangle, not up, but down, and the distance is 2 next. And it's an add. So there we go. Now, of course, I can modify the size of that pretty easily, but now let's go ahead and circular revolve this guy. So I'm going to come up here to, there it is, circular pattern, I should say, not revolve. So the thing I want to do is this extrude right there. Oh, I need to change it to feature pattern, and I want to do that extrude. And the axis, I can just choose a circle that is around the axis I want. So if I click there, it's going to start placing them, and you can see that they appeared. And it also is an add. It's not making new parts. So how many do I want to have here? There's 30. That's 40. They're going to start, oh, okay. 50. As you can see, I think my my grippers are too big. So we can adjust that easily. We just go back in here and change the size of that sketch. But I think this kind of captures the essence of the screw cap. Of course, minus the threads. And so I think this is a good way to start this the screw cap on this project. Thanks for watching.